Jammies. Good afternoon. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Thursday Afternoon Live here in the Academy. This week, obviously being Mental Health Week, we felt that it was incredibly important to address this topic and try to, I suppose, encourage you to, number one, protect your own mental health, understand the importance of your mental health as part of your overall well-being, and how to seek out help as well if you find that over time you're continuously struggling with your mental health. So massive welcome to everybody who has recently joined us either online or in Dundalk or Newry. Please feel free to use these live sessions to reach out and ask questions or literally flick back through some of the older ones if you're in need of some added motivation, a little pick-me-up. What you find sometimes is we spend half our time scrolling through social media and actually not helping our mental health at all. So try to spend your time doing something way more positive. So what is mental health? Mental health by the World Health Organization is described as a state of well-being where you are fully able to reach your full potential. You can cope with the everyday normal stresses of life, work productively, and contribute to your own community. And I suppose mental health is one of those things I feel on a scale really of 1 to 10, we've been talking about all week in the Academy. I find, and I know for myself personally, in a day I can certainly go from 1 to 4 or 1 to 5 very, very quickly with my general mental health. And that's everything from the little normal daily stresses in life, like your work colleagues annoying you, or they're sitting here beside me, so I better not talk too much about them. But you know, the little things that might just irritate you a little bit, to the more major things in life that obviously really impact our mental health. So they talk about the mental health pain scale starting at number 1, and they do say number 1 is a bit like you're feeling everything's okay, life is wonderful, there's absolutely nothing wrong with you, and in fact you're probably sitting at home petting a little furry kitten right now. And for most of us, if I'm honest, I doubt that there's too many times in the day that we feel like that, and probably not enough, but that should be the goal, that we get times, certainly throughout the year and throughout the day, that we actually feel on top of the world. Number 2, then you're a little bit frustrated or disappointed, but you're easily distracted and cheered up with little effort. So them little minor things, maybe kids not doing their homework, husband annoying you, dinner not working out how you planned, or maybe nothing planned for dinner. Little simple things. Somebody at a set of traffic lights annoys the life out of you. And I was giving people some tips during the week, even little things like that. If you find, I suppose, helping yourself in those situations to stay calm and actually think of the other person and wonder, somebody's irritating you, there's probably a reason why you're feeling irritated and maybe why they are being the way they are. So try and give people some time, some understanding, some patience. And if someone really annoys you, what I do nowadays is I pray for them. So maybe even use that. Just think to yourself, do you know what? I'm going to pray for you. Number 3, then, things are bothering you, but you're coping. You might be overtired or over hungry. Obviously, in a weight loss perspective, being over hungry is not your friend. If you're over hungry, what are you going to do? I'm going to reach for the first thing you see, and 9 times out of 10, that ain't something particularly good. So try not to be overtired. Try to get sleep. Sleep has a massive impact on your general mental health, but also your choices and how active you are, how you eat throughout the day as well. So trying to get sleep definitely does help. But 1 to 3, definitely mild forms of things starting to impact your mental health or your overall well-being, but everything you're still able to cope with. As you move up the scale, then number 4, today might be a bad day, or maybe you've had a couple of bad days. You still have the skills to get through it, but be gentle with yourself and really try and practice, which we're going to talk about later, some self-care and self-love strategies, and try to lift your own mood. Number 5, then your mental health is starting to impact on your everyday life. Easy things are becoming more difficult. And it is at this point, folks, that you definitely should be talking to a health professional. Seek out help. Definitely should be chatting to family and friends. I seen an amazing visual actually on the TV this week where they had kids carrying loads of footballs. And they handed a child 4 or 5 footballs. So as you can imagine, they were all in the arms and they really couldn't hold on to them at all. And they asked them to walk from one end of the gym hall to the other. And the kids walking across, and obviously the balls are dropping. What they did though then was they got them back to the wall again, give them all the balls, and then asked a friend to go and help them. Then the friend took 1 or 2 balls off, and they were all very easily able to make it from one end of the room to the other. And I think that's a bit like life sometimes. And I think especially as women, but obviously we have men on the program as well, men and women, we carry too much through life. We try to do it all. We're thinking about the house, the kids, the holiday, the debt, the money, Christmas, literally everything, our daily work, and everything. And then all the minor things thrown in on top of that as well. And then literally we become get ourselves to a point where we can hold nothing. And there's just so much, we're piling more and more onto ourselves that we just can't cope any longer. So trying to offload some of that, talking to family and friends, talking to your partner, getting help and seeking out. We are so good for other people, and we're actually better at helping other people than we are at helping ourselves. And on that, I suppose, really do try to look at as well. Maybe you're feeling particularly strong and your own mental health is good. Take a look around you, whether it's work colleagues, friends, family, neighbours, children particularly as well, and see, look for the signs of someone maybe struggling to cope, and maybe starting to socially disconnect as well, or maybe not be the same person that maybe you knew them to be, and reach out to them, ask them if they're okay. And I always say, we're saying this week in the Academy as well, try to leave someone better than you find them. So just by literally uplifting someone, making them feel a bit better, you don't know what someone has come through in their day by the time you actually meet them. So if you went out of your way with every person you met over the next few days to literally lift them up, then life would be different if we all did that. I had a lady this week actually in the Academy here. She lost 10.5 pounds over the last few weeks. She's really feeling it. She'd actually walked into the Academy the other morning, walked and ran in, and said she was feeling so great. And what was the best thing was the people were really starting to say it to her, and she was so excited, and it left her feeling amazing. But she asked me to ask everybody in the class not to stop doing that, to make sure they keep telling people that they look amazing, that you're doing great. Because at the end of the day, we all need a pick-me-up. We all love the pat on the back. We all love to hear well done. And you may just change someone's life, not even just their day, just by being that bit extra nice to them. So typically from levels 1 to 4 on the pain scale, you find you will cope with most things yourself. Beyond 5, things do start to get more difficult. And 1 in 4 people in this country will have a major or significant mental health incident or impact on their life at some point. So it is so important to become aware. By number 6, then you're starting to feel that you can't do things the way you usually do them. Impulsive and compulsive thoughts in your head tend to become hard to cope with. And I do firmly believe the mind and our mind is an incredibly powerful thing, but it's also an incredibly dangerous thing as well. And be very careful of both the thoughts and the habits that we create in our own heads. An awful lot of our fear, our anxieties, and our worries are created right here in our very own heads by the thoughts that we're generating and creating on a daily basis. In a day, I reckon we have around 60,000 thoughts every single day. And in some people's head, up to 90% of those can be negative. Imagine that is a very tough place to live if your head becomes incredibly negative. Think of the gardener. It's a bit like the brain's like a garden. You can either grow flowers or grow weeds. If you're growing flowers, that's all your positive thoughts and you're trying new things and you're feeling excited and passionate, and your garden is looking well. Once the weeds start to get in though and start to take over, imagine when they take over, it's a very difficult job to chop them all down and get flowers growing again. And that's your negative thoughts. And negative thoughts and weeds feed on negative energy and feed on, all of those little things that really make us not feel good. So to counteract any negative thought, you need to have at least 3 positive thoughts. That's a difficult place for a lot of people if there's a lot of negative thoughts already going on in here. So try every time you hear your head saying anything negative at all, and particularly before you verbalize it, but if it's in your head at all, just literally try and stop it. And I say to the kids even all the time, literally throw that thought away. And focus on something way more positive. And we'll talk at the end as well about some things that you can do to try and re-energize the brain and get it that little bit more excited. From 7 to 10, things are getting very serious. You're starting to avoid things then, which actually makes you even more distressed. And you definitely should seek help. A lot of people then find maybe they might have trouble sleeping, eating, socializing, even going to work or studying can become incredibly difficult then as well. So really, really important if it is affecting major parts of your life that you definitely seek out help. Number 9 and 10, you're definitely at a critical point if you are really feeling that the struggles are just so horrific that you cannot go on anymore. And folks, this can be born out of something very, very mundane, or very often as well, people suffer with mental health illnesses, or it impacts them because of major life events. Maybe you've gone through bereavement or divorce or something major in your life, and definitely then you should be seeking out help, because there is always a way, there's always help to be had, and you will get through it. I know myself, I said actually this week in the classes, without realizing it, probably I'd say I struggled with my own mental health from about 24 to 30. I lost my dad at 24, and without even realizing, I suppose that's the time that I gained weight. A lot of times I didn't want to be out and be socially active with other people. And I suppose for me then what helped change, I suppose I read an awful lot of books. I started really obviously eating better, becoming more active. And for me, I was watching actually Britain's Got Talent the other night, and the guy, Darcy Oaks, spoken in about his own grief and losing his brother, I think it was. But he said grief is very much like carrying a brick around. You put it into your coat pocket and that brick is there forever. And I think for me with grief, definitely like there is that literally physical impact that is like literally like a broken heart, and you feel that brick. But if you can learn then to nearly, and I think as we go through life, then it just becomes part of you, and you continue to carry it around forever. For me now though, through lots of reading, through lots of positive people in my life, through lots of positive events and things in my life, I've been able to lift all of that grief, I suppose, right up and use it in a really positive way. I use it to share experiences with people, use it to remember my father fondly and actually positively, and proud of everything that I learned of the 24 years with him. And it's not that you never get upset, you never have struggles, and you never have challenges in your everyday life, but I definitely think you feel stronger then as a person to be able to cope. So folks, you can do it. I promise you, you can get through it as well. So that's your 10. Mental Health Ireland have a great website as well if you're looking for more advice or for more resources. They recommend actually 5 ways to connect and to help your well-being. And I suppose though, for me, reading over the mental health website, I could not believe their number 6 that they're missing, or probably their number 1. They didn't mention food once. Now, obviously, all of the research and everything that I have read will tell you that food directly impacts your brain and your mental health. So as a starting point, folks, I would think if you are feeling low at all, if your mental health is not good, then what you put on your fork potentially is the most important decision you will make today. So try to help yourself where you can. And I know myself, when the mood's low, this typically for most people isn't good. And your brain, don't be waiting for your brain to say, all right, okay, my mood's low, now I'm going to go and chop the carrots, peel the potatoes, I'm going to cook a nice healthy dinner, and then I'm going to go for a walk. Your brain is always going to say to you, don't chop the potatoes, phone the Chinese, or eat the chocolate, or sit in the sofa. That's what the brain's going to tell you. So good or bad, no matter how your mood is, that's what you're going to be told. So you need to counteract that, and you need to make good food an absolute priority. So all your color, all your nutrients, all your antioxidants, following the 5 steps in the plan and getting as much nutrition in as you possibly can. Lots of water, so important for the brain to get water in and loads of fluids. And then get the brain excited as well, getting those happy endorphins from exercise. And I know as well, on a good day for most people, it's a tough job to get out and be active. So on a bad day, it is definitely way tougher to be active. But sometimes it's nearly thinking like that, is sitting in the house or staying in bed going to help me get better? And the answer in all cases is no. So literally doing anything that you can. And even if you're sick or injured, even just getting a couple of minutes, getting into a pool, moving, any major movement at all is going to benefit you. So try to connect. Number 1 is connect. Try and connect with people around you, connect with family, connect with friends. We are the biggest texters in the world in this country, and yet we talk less than anyone. So we are now on a WhatsApp or a text, or, and it is so unsocial. We think we text so much and we think we're connected, but you are not connected unless you physically hear or see someone. And those are the senses that we need to be using more. So physically connect with friends or family. Something simple as a phone call. It doesn't even have to be going to meet for coffee, or literally 2 minutes to speak to someone on a phone. Check in with them, see are they okay. Be active, mention it, happy endorphins, get out, be active, do something. Set yourself a challenge this week, particularly now as we start to head into winter. Weather typically worse for most people find it harder. Think about what you could do. Could you do a workout from our app, sat at home, not sat at home, but at home, do a workout in the app, and just give it a go. Get started, literally anything. Step number 3 is take notice. How important is it nowadays to take notice? We spend our lives looking down on a mobile phone, rushing through life, rushing around from dropping kids off, going to work, home, dinners, homeworks, bed, whatever it is, and don't take time to stop and be grateful or thankful for everything that we have around us. I think coming through grief as well, your glass is either half full or half empty, they always say, but I think very often remembering that even if you've water in your glass at all, then life is good. So folks, try to remember that. Keep learning. Oh my God, learning is probably one of the best things you can do for your mental health, for protection of your mental health, and also for improvement of your mental health. And for some people, that could be as simple, literally, as trying a new recipe, learning a new skill, trying to play guitar, What else would you love to do? And maybe something that you've thought about for a long time. Maybe you're thinking, oh, I'm too old, I've missed my chance, there's not time, I have a busy life. They say if you commit 2 hours a week to anything, you'd become an expert at it in no time at all. So what could you give 2 hours a week? Maybe it's weight loss, maybe it's spending time on the app, maybe it's cooking your food and prepping, or maybe it's being active. But pick up a new skill. One of the ladies during the week said she's going to do a DIY course. We were all super excited. And she nearly got a new job out of it as well, because everybody was like, right, go do that DIY course and we'll book you for work. So she got to work as well. But whatever it is, come up with something that you want to do, because what that's going to do then is excite every little fiber in your brain, and you can feel them pinging nearly already just by actually thinking about doing something different. Then it also gives you new conversation and new chat, and when you meet that friend or partner or husband or children, you're going to be talking to them about your excitement of learning that new skill. So again, it builds and creates new thoughts. Plan ahead, plan for the future, plan for things you want to do for holidays or anything you'd like to be or have. Nothing gets us excited more, I think, than holidays, certainly for me anyway. But a lot of people say to me, I can't afford to go on holidays. Folks, if you really wanted to go on holidays, imagine planning ahead even for 2022. Save some money every single week for the next 3 years and you'll be on holidays before you know it. And then the last one, the Mental Health Ireland stress, is giving. The most happiest people in the world are not the richest. It is the people who give most. And when I say giving, I mean, it doesn't have to be financially. I mean, giving your time, giving your energy, giving your commitment to someone else for something to go primarily unnoticed, just for you to know that you have done your little bit. Have you done something kind for someone today? Have you, charity begins at home, I firmly believe. Is there someone that you can reach out to offer a helping hand to get them maybe through something? Is there local sports clubs, local charities, things that you can just do and give? And I promise you, you will feel amazing. And a firm believer too in karma. So what you give out, you're going to get back. You will reap the rewards of living a happier and a kinder and a more beautiful life. You will get it all back. I promise you. Your food, as I said at the start, don't forget the 5 steps, probably the most important part, and so important, particularly if your brain is not feeling, you're not feeling it on your side. And remember though as well that the normal stress of life, that kind of 1 to 4 level, is completely normal. If there wasn't stress in our life, I don't know what we do. So, it's so important to understand, but part of life also is understanding stresses and learning how to cope with them and building coping strategies so that when bigger stresses do appear or do come, that you're more able and more ready then to do it. So your challenge for this week is to work on your little stresses. The next time something annoys you or irritates you or affects your mood, assess what it is. Think about why you're feeling the way you're feeling and what would you do differently the next time, and how, instead of reaching for something in the cupboard or the presses, can you react differently and not maybe with food or alcohol. On alcohol as well, just when I mentioned it, I should say, if you are feeling anything, I would say certainly above a 4 in your mental health and you're feeling low at all, alcohol is a complete depressant. And if your mood is low, it is probably the last thing that should be on your list. I know imminently people feel a kind of sense of stress relief when they take the first glass of alcohol, but over time that definitely becomes more and more reliant. And before you know it, there could be more issues there. So I would try and eradicate it altogether. If your mood is already low, drinking alcohol is going to make it lower. And we all know if you've had alcohol, literally start with staying for a couple of days after, typically most people find their mood lower. They find their food worse then as well, and it's just a vicious circle then of constantly feeling worse, fueling that, feeling worse with more bad food, and just continues. So folks, to uplift you a little before, I know that's quite a heavy topic on a Thursday afternoon, but mental health is so important that it is definitely worth talking about. If you need help, please feel free to reach out to any of us here in the team, reply to any of your emails, get in touch with us. You can always phone the office here, the number's on the website, and we will be only too happy to help where we can, or certainly point you in the right direction for more help. Next Thursday morning, for anybody, we have our Cups Against Cancer morning. It's Thursday 24th, the girls are trying to be here, 24th of October, 11 to 1, very informal Thursday morning, just trying to do our bit to raise as much money as we possibly can. So if anybody would like to donate any raffle prizes, anybody would like to cook something healthy for that morning for us, and come along is the main thing. We just like you to come out. There's going to be a raffle, loads of prizes, and just come out, show your support, and take some friends or family or whoever you'd like with you. Everyone is more than welcome. And if you'd love a little €50 pennies voucher, which we could all do with, I'm sure, this time of year. No, Linda, you can't have it. This time of year, we definitely all need it. Then all you need to do is send us a testimonial. So whether you're an online member, Dundalk or Newry, reply to any of our emails, and you can just send us in a text testimonial. We've had a few come through already. About your experiences in the academy, what you've loved. If they're negative ones, send them to Linda. I said actually during the week, if they're negative ones, don't send them to us, but I'm only joking. We'd like all feedback, but positive ones, please. And if you'd like, so you get 1 entry for a text one. If you include photographs, could be transformation photographs or anything at all, then you'll get 5 entries into the draw. And if you all love a bit of Snapchat now, so if you send us a little video testimonial, you will get 10 entries into that draw. So how exciting would that be? So folks, I leave you with that thought. Have an amazing week. Protect yourself, your health, and your well-being for the next week ahead. And I will chat to you all next Thursday.